Good morning, y'all. All right, we're on early bird gets the worm time this morning. We got some push A on the books. We're gonna get it. See you in there. All right, we're just getting in here. First thing we do every single time we come in, logbook, logbook, logbook. I'm gonna write this out and we're gonna get to the warm-up. All right, so what we're doing for our warm-up is some decline flies. I've been doing this warm-up movement on and off between push A and push B. But I've found that like my big compound movements have been moving a lot better when I do warm up with this. I find it a little bit more enjoyable. It allows me to like kind of really get a feel for the muscle and how it's going to work today. Make sure I get it warmed up because I said it in the last video. We're kind of working on longevity to make sure that we're not going to be injury prone in the future. So I like getting some pauses on that top and on the squeeze, kind of really get those muscles activated. While we're trying to give ourselves a second here. The reason why on chest day I do specific movements, how I do them, how I warm up, what I'm focusing on when I'm doing the movements is very based on the fact that my chest is a huge weak point on my physique. My coach has called it out. A few judges' feedback has called it out. When we get on the stage, we don't just get on stage to say we're getting on stage. When I get on stage, it's to compete at whatever level I can compete at, right? I'm not just doing it to do it. I want to do it to win, right? For me, anytime I do something, I put my all into it. I don't just half-ass it. Everything I have will be put into that one thing. No matter how hard it is, I will push through that and make it happen. So we're gonna deviate a little bit. So we got someone on the incline. We're gonna start with our flat. It's not really that big of a deal. A lot of people fret when they can't get on a machine or get a movement started, but it's no big deal. I'm gonna use this weight right here as my working set weight and kind of really focus on the squeeze and then keeping in the active range. I had the blocks on here, so that way I'm not starting in the stretch position. I want to start in a middle position, so that way I'm not putting immediate stress on my joints trying to lift a heavy load. Gives me a good start off too, kind of like if someone were to give you a lift off in a lift or on dumbbells or something that's compound movement wise. All right, let's get into this top set right here. Make sure you tap in.
I remember back when them bitches wouldn't give me a bite, now they begging my feet for some crumbs. You not with me, you would lead to a bone. Get the fuck on my face, trying to be in my fun. Shawty said kids should come back to my place, so I'm deep in that bitch with my dick and my thumb. I get to doing my dance when I'm up in that pussy, that bitch finna need a new lung. I said holla at me if you need you a pack, I was losing, but I got it back in. Said I got the fish jumping up like a jack, you can go ask around, yeah they tapped in. Yeah, when 12 put me over, I had a little setback, but we relaxed and we back in. Come and get you a P or O, I ain't win nothing less. If you do, then I'm taxing. For that shit, I just said trying to fuck with the crackheads, cause they been bringing me work in. Had to take off my shirt, cause the block been too hot, I ain't hiding, come get you a serving. Pay attention to 12, could've.
All right, I lied. That was 12 reps with like 2 partials. I want it to be a 6 to 8 range. So we're gonna top set. We're gonna throw another plate on each side. Oh yeah. Come on. Man, I want him one more. So, talking about announcements. So, I'm gonna put a few pictures here and here and here of the brand. So, we haven't really like made a full announcement yet, but one thing that starting to create, and we kind of created in the shadows first, is a brand. And for me specifically, I've always been into fashion, sneakers, etc. But I wanted to make a brand that's high quality, it's good price, but it has some unique designs that can be worn in and outside of the gym. So Manny debuted it yesterday on his Instagram, or today, this morning. I made sure I gave out a few samples, some of that. We've been doing samples as of right now. I have some more coming in, but we're trying to get the fit right. It's really hard because I'm kind of like the base model for it, and I'm 6'3", 200 pounds right now. So it's a little difficult to kind of base it off of me when that might not be the main demographic that purchases the clothing. But right now, today, I'm wearing one of them. So we got GFW, that's the brand, Growth from Within. I got the back here. Kind of a smooth little cutoff, but this is definitely not gonna be the final product. This product's gonna it's not gonna come out at all. The sample I wasn't really happy with. I like the cut of it, the material of it, but I have a different version that's gonna be coming in that's a little bit more rugged, a little bit thicker, but the design's a little bit different. I thought this was a little too simple, and it kind of didn't match what the main products that we're gonna be doing are. But we're only gonna be doing 4 products. It's going to be a pair of sweatpants, a cutoff, a t-shirt, and then I think a long sleeve. I don't think I'm gonna be able to do a hoodie because the size and fits of the hoodies from the manufacturer that I'm using aren't really bodybuilder friendly, right? Broader shoulders, bigger chest, bigger arms aren't gonna fit into those things. So we're gonna keep rolling it out, keep doing different samples, and slowly get to a point where we will release those 4 products once we get to a final point. All right, next up, we got the Atlantis Incline. I've been keeping the weight kind of on the top sets the same, 3 plates each side. During the off season and like full bulk, we were working up to 4 plates each side, but I didn't think it was super necessary. The highest we got was 3 plates and a quarter on each side, but it wasn't really necessary because I was able to get the same stimulus from the lower weight. Aaron, my coach, has given me a large tips throughout the 3 years I've been with him. And one of the biggest things is that there is a time and a place for moving mass concept, but a lot of the times it's what you're doing with the weight and how you're executing the weight that truly matters, because weight will come with time, right? It's not, let me just go jump into rowing 270 or, doing, an extra 200 pounds, plated dips, right? Like, that's not what it is, right? Execution first, then you let the weight come. That weight moved differently last week, but that means the aggressive mini cut's working because my strength dropped a little bit to start the week, so that's good. Next up on the agenda, we got some pec deck flies. I don't really like to do a full stretch in flies because, I mean, with chest specifically, I mean, the pushing movements are meant for like horizontal adduction, right? So bringing your arms across the front of the body. So I like to keep it in it's not like a full stretch, it's like a partial stretch at the bottom. And then I come through and kind of really focus on that portion to kind of really engage the pec major. But the one thing that people don't understand when you're doing flies is that your bicep is a stabilizer when you're doing flies. So, and that can go for a lot of pressing movements too, but specifically you're putting a lot of strain on the bicep in a large stretch position, right? So your bicep connects right into a small portion of it connects into your shoulder, but your bicep is a stabilizer. So you putting it in a stretch position like that doesn't necessarily help you, but it also doesn't hurt you. But it's also kind of what you're comfortable, like what position you're comfortable in. I prefer that kind of closer adduction. Hello. So, top set was 210. I think I'm just gonna match that. Set it up. Here we go. Squeeze. All right, up next, we got lateral raises. It's the last thing we're doing. Me and my coach had kind of agreed that shoulders are a pretty good strong point for me, so I put them towards the end of the session. From a fatigue standpoint, they're not very fatiguing. I don't go super heavy, kind of keeping a good rep range, 12 to 15 again, and kind of really pump it out. This machine specifically is wonderful. I do like doing unilateral shoulders a lot, but if I can do them together, get out of the 2 sets and then get going, that's kind of the goal. But we're gonna put some good intensity effort into this one. All right, so finished up our main movements. I am going to go finish up with my 2 ab movements, and then we're out for the day. I will see you guys tomorrow.